Okay, let's just gut right to the chase here. If you're a healthcare executive, you already know that claim denials aren't just some minor administrative headache. They are a massive financial hemorrhage, literally draining your bottom line right now. Today, we're going to break down exactly how to stop treating these denials as just an inevitable cost of doing business. Instead, we're going to look at how you can build a proactive, absolutely bulletproof prevention system.
I mean, just consider the sheer scale of this problem for a second. $19.7 billion. That is what hospitals are spending every single year just fighting and appealing denied claims. Think about the opportunity cost there, right? That is nearly $20 billion not going toward patient care, not going to facility upgrades, and certainly not padding your margins. It's essentially money burned on rework and administrative overhead. Accepting this as a normal cost of doing business, well, it's a massive strategic failure, and we need to fix it immediately.
But here's the real tragedy, and honestly, the massive opportunity for us here. Industry data actually proves that 60 to 90% of these claim denials are entirely preventable. No way around it, that's a huge number. Yet so many organizations are just trapped in this vicious cycle of back-end recovery, mostly because of legacy, siloed workflows. We really have to shift our operational mindset entirely away from back-end recovery and pivot hard toward front-end accuracy.
So what does this shift actually look like? It means moving completely away from the costly reactive denial management model. Look, management is inherently slow, right? You're waiting weeks for the denial, trying to identify codes, drafting appeals, and essentially chasing pennies on the dollar. Proactive denial prevention, on the other hand, means fixing the upstream conditions that cause the errors before a claim ever leaves your facility. It's faster, it's significantly cheaper, and it aggressively protects your bottom line.
So where is this upstream battleground? It's typically lost in 4 specific front-end stages. First up, scheduling and patient registration. You know, a simple typo here can immediately snowball into a major rejection. Second is real-time insurance eligibility. Because checking a patient's status just once? Yeah, that doesn't cut it anymore in today's dynamic environment. Third is prior authorization, which, let's be honest, has become the most notorious administrative bottleneck. And finally, clinical documentation and coding accuracy.
To really highlight the urgency of these upstream bottlenecks, just think about prior authorization for a moment. Denials in this area alone recently jumped by a massive 31%, as payers just continuously change their rules and requirements. This absolutely demands centralized, real-time tracking workflows. Relying on manual tracking, spreadsheets, or, heaven forbid, sticky notes, that is a guaranteed way to bleed revenue in today's landscape.
Okay, so how do we fix this across the whole organization? Executive leadership has to step in and implement this precise 5-step roadmap. First, audit your current denials by root cause. You need to find out exactly where you're bleeding. Second, map your current front-end workflows to spot those friction points. Third, implement targeted fixes by stage. Don't try to boil the ocean all at once. Fourth, set up weekly prevention metrics. And fifth, which is probably the most critical step, you have to close the feedback loop between your accounts receivable and front-end teams so they stop repeating the exact same mistakes.
Because as we all know, you can't manage what you don't measure. As a C-level executive, you should be driving your teams to hit these exact, high-leverage prevention metrics every single week. Demand a first-pass acceptance rate greater than 95%. Push that overall initial denial rate below 5%. You want to keep authorization-related denials under 2% and insist that eligibility-related denials stay under a strict 1%. Those right there are the absolute gold standards for a healthy revenue cycle.
There's a saying I love. The best denial is the one that never happens. And honestly, this philosophy is exactly why we built ProMantra. As your premier RCM partner, we focus entirely on auditing your specific denial patterns and actually fixing those upstream gaps. We bring in advanced workflows, AI automation, and crucial human-in-the-loop expertise to manage this whole complex prevention infrastructure for you. That way, your internal teams can get back to focusing on what matters most, which is patient care.
At the end of the day, denials are not an inevitability. They're just a symptom of fixable process problems. Ask yourself, if you aren't actively preventing denials upstream, are you really managing your revenue cycle, or is your revenue cycle managing you? It's time to stop reacting to lost revenue and start protecting your bottom line. Take control today by reaching out to our experts at ProMantra. Thanks so much for tuning in, and let's get those clean claim rates exactly where they belong.